Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me now. Not the sound being off. Oh my God. Okay, so we're back, or we're here for the first time. So, starting over. Hello. Welcome to another conversation with Coco. I am your host, Coco. So, conversations with Coco, we get deep down to the gritty. You know what I'm saying? I'm real stripped down because we got to focus on the topic at hand. And so, before we get into that, I did want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I am trying to make an attempt at building my YouTube channel. So, bear with me. But as we get into today's topic, I want to preface this by saying I'm going to be as respectful as I can. With that being said, it has come time for us to talk about the elders because I think we have it confused that the elders cannot be corrected. I don't know when that started happening, but no, sometimes the elders need to be corrected. And so I'm going to use this video. It is yet another Nicholas Cannon production. But I was watching this in Themis' Discord, and I had to stop watching after like 20 minutes. I was just like, I can't. But I did want to review it because we're going to have a nice little kiki about why some of the elders and their teachings are extremely problematic and extremely harmful, and we should stop listening to their asses about this extremely harmful rhetoric. Now, like I said, I'm going to be as respectful as I can, but also I'm not a child. So this is an adult to an adult conversation. If you happen to be older than me and you don't like someone having a conversation about your bad behavior, sweetheart, I'm gonna touch my hand when I touch your hand when I say this. Take it somewhere else and take it up with somebody who cares, because I don't, babes. I don't. All right. Let's get into it. Let me make sure everything's on. If there's any more sound issues, let me know. But without further ado, let's get into it, honey.
All right, back by popular demand. We've seen you in the comments. We've seen the things that have been going viral. And honestly, this has been so helpful. One, I hope we can do this again. I don't want this to just be the sessions that we have had. I want you to, you're a permanent guest on Council.
Okay, goody.
I mean, when the roundtable settings, we need you there. When we take it on tour, we need you there because you truly have been a matriarch to me in this short time, and I'm sure to many others. Early on, I know you said you haven't gone viral for the things that you stand for, but I think we're going to change that because there's a purpose. We need high frequency to go viral.
That's what I want to go viral, not because I want to go viral.
Right? No,
because
exactly.
I want people. My mission. Every year I get a mission. Spirit gives me a mission, and my mission this year is to work with men. That's number one. But I told you when you called me.
We here.
And number two is to awaken 1 million. That's my vision. My purpose, my mission, to awaken 1 million people to the skills, the tools, the information, the process for living at a higher frequency, living in a higher level. Because that low level stuff, judging each other, criticizing each other, tearing each other.
I'm going to say this. Remember, she said that her calling was to not deal in this low vibration. Okay.
Up and down. In this, and I love law and order, and Jack McCoy, that's my secret love. But anyway, we live in a law and order society which seeks punishment. And that is not raising people's frequency. Folk are even afraid to talk about the vulnerability, talk about their hurt, talk about their feelings of loss, because we go for judgment and punishment and not correction. Like I said, when you were in trouble, who called you to correct you, to give you guidance?
And to protect you.
And to protect you, yes.
Those are the great words of the Reverend Dr. Jan Levesque said.
Yeah.
We here. And today we are talking about healing in the public eye.
Yeah. Will Smith.
All of us. I mean, from when you just stating, I've been through it. And I want to first before we get into that, because I want your opinion on various of my brothers.
Not opinion or insight. As an elder, I don't have an opinion.
Talk that talk.
I got the
I'm also going to preface this by saying I have to keep the mic away from me because when I be talking loud, it be giving a little echo or whatever. I'm just going to disregard Nicholas because as hard as I can, I'm going to just disregard Nicholas. So I'm letting y'all know now.
I've got to pull it down and pull it through in a way that honors the ancestors and the future generations from a place of love, integrity, and truth.
I stand corrected, y'all. You heard it. Insight.
I don't have no
opinions. I'm still in that. I don't have opinions. I have insight. I don't debate. I teach. No, in all seriousness, I have to commend you and honor you and say thank you for the work that I saw from afar from somebody that I loved dearly, that is no longer with us. And I just got questions, but DMX.
Oh yeah, Earl.
I love that dude.
I did too.
I really feel when I tell you the work that he did, the work that his art will continue to do, that was one of the most powerful spirits I have ever experienced.
Genius. He was a freaking genius. And let me tell you two things that were missing from our culture that he didn't have. He had never been consecrated. Such a high spirit, high energy. The way we do it in this,
explain that.
The way we do it in this culture of society is baptism. If you even, let's go back to roots.
Right.
When Kunta took Kizzy out.
So like, I would love DMX, but I also like to deal in being fucking for real. And for you to start out with the first tool that he didn't have in our community was he wasn't consecrated, as if this man wasn't a whole crackhead. Not saying there's something wrong with being a crackhead. What I am saying is he had behaviors that went along with that addiction that weren't great, that harmed people, including his family, his children. So why is the first tool not how to heal? Wouldn't that be a tool that we would need to have? I don't know how we got there. Why is it the first thing? It's like the issue I have with some spiritual people is that you just want us to move into love and light without showing us that process. If someone is dealing with demons, baby, what are we calling? Never mind. Let's move on. Yeah.
Kizzy outside. They said the only thing greater than yourself. Nobody had ever done that to him. He had not been consecrated, baptized, and harnessed that spirit. He was a freaking genius. But how do you manage that energy? Right. How do you channel that energy? And he found a way to do the outlet, and it was so much that a lot of times leads to the drugs, to the alcohol, to the what looks like bad behavior. But he had never.
He had a lot of pain.
Had he been?
So you mean to tell me it was his genius and his inability to know what to do with that, not his shitty ass environment, that made him do drugs? This is what I mean about us being for real. And I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a professional at all. However, I don't think I need to be any of those things to see that there were other things contributing to his addiction and his inability to learn how to cope with that addiction. Who does this help? The coddling of it all. Who does it help? I mean, I guess she said her mission was to help 1 million Black men. So I mean, I guess.
Had he been culturally cared for, he would have had a naming ceremony, and he would have been some way consecrated or introduced, aligned with the ancestors.
Let's talk about the importance of a naming ceremony.
Oh yeah.
Because as a father who has named some children some very interesting and unique names.
The name is in nature. You got to understand that from the voice, the power of the person's heart comes, and when that happens, you are educating that spirit as to who it is and what it's supposed to do. That's why indigenous cultures, Native American, African, they have naming ceremonies. And you don't do that until sometimes 3, 5, 9 days after the child is on the earth, so the spirit can settle in the body. And then you look and you say, okay, what is your purpose? Who are you here for? What's the energy? What frequency? And we name the child that thing, so that every time we call its name, we are educating. Don't name the child, Bubalasha, because you saw it in the movie
Right.
and you liked it.
Yeah.
We got to understand
Powerful.
who we are. But again, we're in this matrix that didn't honor our culture. So we got away from that kind of stuff. We got away from, and we just pick a name, so we want to get away from that.
Indeed. And to go back to X for a moment, and speaking like again, not only was he genius, but I feel like he had a loving, deep loving spirit for the people he loved. He was a protector. He was a voice, a very strong voice, and we heard it in his music. But I don't think it was appreciated until he was no longer with us. But in what I saw you do, you tapped into some of his vulnerabilities and even dealing with his children in the world of addiction. But it was, I would say, I have so many questions, but specifically, what was it like to attempt to help him heal?
Well, let me just say, mine wasn't to attempt to help him heal. My work was about empowering him so he could make the choice to heal. See, drugs for him were not a pleasure. It was an escape to manage all of that energy. But here, and I say this about.
Does any addict use whatever they're addicted to as something for fun? See, I don't like my intelligence being played with. I really don't.
Earl, DMX, and I say this about Michael Jackson. I say this about whoever, because I'm an elder and I can say it. The people in your environment who claim to love you and watch you kill yourselves are liars. His crew, DMX, Michael, they didn't serve them well because they were paying them to allow them to continue to drug and harm themselves. People allowed Earl to get away with that because he served their purpose. Don't let me die. Don't let me die.
Don't let me die.
If you see me doing something that's destructive, even if you think I'm going to get mad at you or if you're going to lose your paycheck, don't let me die.
Don't let me die.
And they let him die. They let him die.
When you heard that,
I understand that if you're around someone and they're going through something, yes, check in on that person. Yes, don't be a contributing factor to whatever it is that they're going through. However, that's an able-bodied adult that's making his own decisions. Now, outside of when he was younger and someone laced whatever he had, every time that man got high, he made the choice to. It is problematic that we keep on with this narrative that grown adults don't make their own decisions and that other people control what their decision making looks like. That man OD'd because he OD'd, because he chose to do drugs. Is it sad? Yes. Should he have gotten help? Yes. Should the people around him not have coddled him and just been yes people? Absolutely. But he made those decisions. It does no one any good to continue to allow grown-ass people to not be accountable for their behavior.
I heard that he had passed. What was going through your mind as you do it?
I knew it was coming. I thought it was coming a lot sooner because his soul wasn't fulfilling its purpose. He didn't come here just to be a hip hop artist and a movie star. He came here to anchor a light on the planet. And his soul had gotten so far away from its purpose until it's like, okay, we out. This ain't what you came here for. That ain't what you came here to do, boo. Now we let you grow. He was brilliant. You also up 48 minutes. I was with him for 4 days. And it just got to the point where that darkness became so aggressive towards me. And that darkness became so unkind and unloving till I just, okay, I'm done with you. You'll never get the opportunity to speak to me again because if you got to master yourself.
We need to move away from not speaking ill of the dead. If you spent 4 days with him and it got to a point where his darkness was so disrespectful to you, you had to leave the process as the person guiding the process with the higher knowledge, with the higher self. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're just gonna talk about how much he was of a genius, how good musically he was, how talented he was. Okay.
to master yourself.
Yeah.
You can't allow the darkness to steal your gift and your greatness.
Especially when you call yourself Dark Man X.
Okay, that's why I say Earl.
Right.
I'm not saying that. And I asked him about that. What is that? What are you doing that for?
Yeah.
Because somebody made money by him doing that and selling records and doing whatever he was doing. You know, no heat, no judgment. Yeah. He had choice, free will. We live in a free will world. I think he just felt so far down in the, he could pray.
That's what I'm about to say. The one thing, the most powerful thing, and I still listen to him almost every day. He has these prayers on his album. Yes. He would do it live in concert. Yes. When I've never seen, talk about emotion, and I've never seen a man release and pour out all that he had inside him.
He had a genius. And, you know, the best students get the hardest tasks. When you have something, when the creator has something for you to do, big, you can't be no punk. You can't.
Yeah, great warriors have the strongest battle.
And you're going to have to walk through some stuff and bounce back. Yeah. And I think because there wasn't enough support in the environment, positive support, people loved him and supported him, but moving him out of that it just got to the point where he wasn't living up to his spirit anymore, his soul's purpose.
That is so powerful. So can we, that's hitting home. So can we talk about when one has a lot inside them, when one has a purpose?
We all got a purpose.
We all got a purpose. But when you can be taken off track, a minister once told me, I can't let my misalignment get in the way of my assignment.
Right.
And we often, I often misaligned.
Own your stuff, brother. Yeah, own your stuff, brother.
I'm talking about the greater idea.
Yeah, but you become a demonstration.
I would definitely speak from the first person, but I also want to talk about me and my peers in the space of being public figures in Black men. I think it's really important because nowadays, everybody got a microphone. Everybody has something to say. And right now, I no longer want to pontificate. I want to be a student.
Yeah.
I want to listen. I want to learn because I have gotten out there on my soapbox and said too much sometimes. Sometimes didn't know what to say. But being in these situations, whether, you know, if one thing we can't deny, even much as we don't want to say we're not role models, you know, we have responsibilities, we have assignments, whether it's as fathers, whether it's as leaders, however you want to say it, and we get thrown off track, and we all got to heal, but to heal in front of the world, to heal in front of everybody, can take you out. And
I want to preface this. Let me put my daughter down. This is the part where I tapped out. I should probably put a trigger warning on the banners because this is where she's gonna get dragged. But I want to let y'all know before we get into it. I just want to let y'all know before we get into it. Y'all finna be heated.
And I'm watching it happen. We got some demons. We got some demons in our community. We got some demons in our culture that have been hidden for a long time. And, you know, as my mother always said, goes on in the darkness will come to light. But how do we deal with those demons and still be the men, the honorable men that that our image may have put forth?
Well, first of all, don't call them demons and judge them bad and wrong.
I'm gonna call them demons. I want us to ponder as we just listen to this. Can you be a man of honor? Can you be a good person if you do the upcoming horrible things we are about to discuss?
Bad and wrong.
I mean,
all things are lessons that God would have us learn. So you must first be willing to learn. And I just heard you say, I don't want to pontificate. I want to be a student. How many brothers want to learn? Or how many of them are holding on to their self-righteous dysfunction?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with them. They got it going on.
Right. Because you said we ain't got no demons. I think I call them what they are. Bill Cosby got some demons.
Well,
it's just like those and that was someone I looked up to.
Yeah, but is that a demon or is that a broken little boy who became a wounded man, who became purposeful to make people money? So they exploited his weaknesses and kept them silent.
I don't give a fuck. Oh, hold on. Let me let her talk for. Sorry.
Silent for their own benefit. I am not justifying anything Bill Cosby did. I grew up on Bill Cosby. Okay, right. But was he a broken little boy? Do we know who diddled him? Do we know where his?
I don't give a fuck. I do not give one single solitary shiny fuck about what happened in his childhood. You want to know why I don't give a fuck? Because he is actively harming, as a fucking adult, other adults. So no, I don't give a fuck who diddled him. I don't. I don't care that he was abused because now he is the abuser. I don't give a fuck. And the fact that we're going to sit here and actually try to give a fuck about these harmful, abusive men in our community dealing with their demons, what did they go? Fuck what they went through. How about that? How about that? Fuck what they went through. I don't give a single solitary fuck what they went through. You are not going to sit here and make me think and dig up empathy and sympathy for someone who has R-worded dozens of women over the last 40 plus decades. You want me to care about someone as a child who as an adult is causing havoc across the fucking globe? You think I should care? I don't even know why we're entertaining this sector of our community. If they're on some redemption arc, let them niggas do that shit when they're in goddamn the jailhouse, the penitentiary. I don't give a fuck. This is not some teenage boy that robbed a bank at 15. Crazy. However, there may be some redeeming qualities and some redemption that he could have. Maybe I would care about who harmed him as a child if maybe the only thing he would do was like maybe like, you know, I don't know, steal mail or like have a little bit of fuckboy tendencies. They can go work out with that lady at the therapy office. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that's actually redeemable. I'm not redeeming a rapist. What's not clicking?
What his ache was. But then he became purposeful to other people. A comedian, an actor,
a leader, a strong voice.
Yeah,
Somebody in the black community. America's dad.
Did anybody ever say to them, where does it hurt? Did anybody ever say to them?
Because we don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Him, how you feel? How you doing? Did anybody ever say that to him?
They're probably scared to say that to him.
But then, so he was allowed, they accommodate. Somebody knew if he did those things that they said, him and our other beloved.
It's not what they said. And here's the other thing about Bill Cosby. I don't give a fuck if he was America's dad, Canada's dad, Mexico's dad. I don't give one fuck. It's not what he said, she said. This man, under oath in a deposition, said he did these things. There is no, well, allegedly or maybe or misinterpretations. This man said out of his goddamn mouth he drugged women with Quaalude. He waited for them to be loopy and he took sexual advantage of them. Why do we care about who was taking advantage of him financially? Don't give a fuck. Don't care. Don't care what he went through as a child. Don't give a fuck. What?
There's so many.
What's his name?
The singer?
R. Kelly.
I knew that's what you was talking
about. Okay, people will they'll let you die, Nick.
See, again, someone
they'll let you die.
Someone that I knew, because we did a lot of music together, and a beautiful spirit. And he was one of those people that even as he was getting attacked, I always tell people, I'm not God. I don't have the ability to throw no human away. And for someone that I shared some spiritual moments with, I watched R. Kelly cry his heart out at his aunt's house on the piano. It was literally one. He had
again another tangent. We don't give a fuck, but I'll let him go.
Just got bailed out of being arrested for one of the accusations, and I saw this vulnerability.
I wasn't going to talk about Nicholas. Nicholas, what was you doing down in R. Kelly's house after he had got arrested for molesting children? What was you doing down at R. Kelly's house watching him serenade and sob over being arrested for diddling children? Hello?
Ability, because this was his matriarch. And my heart was bleeding for this little boy who has so much.
It was not no little fucking boy, Nicholas. That was a grown-ass man touching little children inappropriately. Your heart broke because a nigga that was touching kids inappropriately was being held accountable for his actions. You garnered up so much empathy. You saw this grown-ass man in his 30s and or 40s or 50s, whenever this was. You saw this grown-ass man crying tears because he had been arrested for diddling children. That was a reminder to submit my billables, but it's a day off. Is that what you're saying? That you felt so sorry for this man for having to deal with the consequences of his own actions? Nicholas, you have too many children to be thinking like this. Where are your daughters right now? Where are your sons right now? Who are they around right now? Oh, okay.
So much talent inside him, but no guidance.
No guidance.
And just a bunch of yes men around him.
That's right. Who wouldn't even say to him, brother, and I think if we take you and support you in getting your high school diploma, if we support you in dealing with the dyslexia, that you'll feel better about yourself. Okay? And hear me, because don't y'all email me, text me.
Did dyslexia make him molest children?
That's your camera right there.
Don't email me. I am not justifying Bill Kelly. Everybody has to be accountable for their behavior.
The aim, as you call it.
That's right. Everybody has to be accountable. But I'm also, as an elder, I'm looking at this thing because there's
a part of that accountability means he is ousted from our society. That's part of the accountability. So again, if he want to have a come to Jesus or come to Muhammad or come to, let me be quiet. If he want to have a come to Jesus meeting, he can do that down at the prison chapel. But why are you sitting here with Nicholas Cannon trying to make everyone else like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Fuck this nigga. Yeah.
Because there's 100 R. Kellys out there. There's 100 Bill Cosby's out there.
No. Get it right. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of Bill Cosby's and R. Kelly's. And who we're going to talk about next? Fucking Chris Brown's. Yes. And every single last one of them niggas should be ousted from the goddamn community and society. Hello?
He's out there somewhere right now. Some uncle, some priest, some adult is diddling a little girl or a little boy right now. And adults will look at it, see it, and act like they don't see it. It's going on right now. When they come public like this.
And what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing by leading with who hurt you when we're talking about rapists and child molesters?
This Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, whoever else we want to talk about. It's to wake us up. Pay a freaking attention, people.
Right.
Do something about this in your small little ways. Don't go get the girl and bring her up to his room.
Right.
Don't give him the drugs. And what you understand? We're all being called into account.
We all gotta be accountable.
We all have to be accountable. They didn't do that on their own.
Right.
Somebody accommodated it, tolerated, facilitated it. Why? They was getting a check.
Again, yes. The every single adult that conspired, accompanied, accomplished, covered up are all responsible for their own fucked up behaviors. But we're not going to sit here and act like R. Kelly molested children because he had help. No. He molested children because he made the decision to molest children. And whoever helped him stop biting the wall, girl. Girl, what is you doing? Why is she biting the wall? Girl, what? Anywho, every single last one of them are responsible for their fucked up behavior. Period. The fuck?
Power of money, the love of money, all of those things. I also want to, again, because you are the elder, and as I'm saying, that's
not the only one.
You're not, but one of the ones I have the opportunity to sit in front of. There's so many things going on, and people that I feel like need a word of wisdom and that need some guidance. Our brother Jonathan Majors, that had everybody. That situation in itself had everyone, myself included. I spoke out on it. Obviously, I got a daily platform where even over the journey, I'm trying to find the right things to say because you want to support this brother, this black man who's going up against an unfair criminal justice system that we all. It's evident, it's systemic. And
I'm going to say this one time, and I'm not going to say it one time only, but I'm going to say it one time here. As an attorney who originally wanted to be a criminal defense attorney, who spent my undergraduate studies, spent my non-required law school studies studying criminal justice, I'm gonna touch y'all hands when I say this. Yes, the criminal justice system is very unfair. It is very racist. The racism shows up in many different ways. What you're alluding to, Nicholas, is not one of those ways. Because you're going to say, oh, yes, more Black men than other groups of men are arrested. True. Black men and men of color are sentenced worse, sentenced more than white men. Yes. There are people that are actually innocent in the prison system. Yes. But I want to show you, I want you to catch this nuance, Nicholas. Out of the criminal justice system and all of the currently incarcerated in prison inmates, 2 to 10% of them are actually innocent. Actually innocent meaning they did not commit the crime they were convicted of. Are there more people that may be, procedurally innocent, maybe some due process violations? Possibly. However, if you think with your brain, Nicholas, and you hear what I've just said, Nicholas, and you put all that together and you heard me say, out of all prison inmates, 2 to 10% are actually innocent. What does that mean, Nicholas? I'll help you out. That means 90 to 98% of current prison inmates are in prison for a crime they actually committed. Now, can we talk about sentencing and how maybe the sentencing may be unfair? Possibly, Nicholas. But just as we're about to get into with Jonathan Majors, he did that shit. So again, what is the obsession with not taking accountability for one's own actions? I'm so confused.
And even the fact that it was a misdemeanor case that was put on display as if it was a death trial almost. It's on.
Yes, because for a misdemeanor, his dumb ass didn't take a plea deal. For a misdemeanor case from a high-profile celebrity, which, yes, anytime a high-profile celebrity walks into court, there is going to be paparazzi, there is going to be media. So if he didn't want the spectacle, what he could have done is actually have taken a plea. If he didn't think he was guilty, he could have taken an Alfred plea. That means, you know what? I don't think I'm guilty. I'm not saying I am guilty. However, what I am saying is if I do go down to the trial jury, the jury could find me guilty. So based upon that, it's in my best interest to take a deal. If I was the attorney, we shouldn't be on trial on this. For what? Because they had discovery. So the defense knew all the evidence the prosecution was trying to get into evidence. So they saw everything, even the things that we did not see, because we only saw what got put into evidence. He had his attorneys, his private attorneys, not a public defender, his private attorneys look at all of that and still say, okay, let's go to trial. He really thought he was going to get off, and he's stupid, just like this nigga right here.
It's on every platform, every television set, and the fact that he was a prominent Black man, who was dating a white woman. And we just watched not only the criminal justice system, but also the media system take this man and, drag his reputation through the mud. And I didn't really, again, even still to this day, that's why I asked you about it. I don't really know how to feel, because I don't know him. But I also, I hurt for him.
Yeah. And who protected him?
Right.
I prayed for him. That's all I could do.
This is the third predator that he done said he empathized with. And so now I'm just thinking, and putting it together with the tools from the last review that we did last Thursday, we know he a predator. So that's why birds of a feather flock together. But you said you empathize with a rapist, a child molester, and a DVR. Okay.
And again,
But what insight?
looking at it from a broader thing. I want to say this in a way. Help me, Holy Spirit. When you are out of alignment, out of integrity with yourself, engaging in behaviors or involved in situations that do not honor who you are, you're going to get a warning. Something's going to happen to let you know, okay, boo, you better back up, go take your ass somewhere and sit down. Okay, they come first with, okay, and so from what I'm looking at, I do not know this to be true, and I'm willing to be wrong. From what I heard, what I saw, what I'm looking at, he was warned, universally, in his soul,
you gotta pay attention to the signs.
Hello, warned about her, because that thing that we saw, that wasn't a first-time event.
Right, not at all.
Okay.
Was he warned about not putting his hands on a woman? Again, with anything to allow these grown-ass men to not take accountability for their own actions. What was he warned about? And you know me, I know I'm black, so I get it. He was warned about being with that white woman. What was the warning? That dealing with her was going to lead him down a path. So you can't do that with this one because we have video proof. Multiple videos of proof. This man was putting his hands on her, being verbally and emotionally abusive to her. And you're going to sit up here and make it a black man, white woman issue when that man put his hands on that woman.
Okay. He was warned about her, but he's going to insist. He was warned about maybe his response. And when I say warned, okay, when I say warned, I don't mean the, policeman Joe came now. In his spirit. There's no way he could rise to that level and don't have something going on in here.
Baby, his spirit is a demon. His spirit said, whoop her ass. That's what his spirit said. See, if someone is dealing with their higher self by the way that they move and the actions that they take and the decisions that they make. He was not a person. He is not a person moving in his higher self that can make these better decisions. Why? Because he ain't shit. And he's okay with being ain't shit because people like Iyanla allow him, create the environment for him to be ain't shit. What do you mean he was warned? His spirit knew. His spirit knew what? To beat women? That was obviously his knee-jerk reaction.
Was disobedient and out of integrity.
I heard that. I don't even hear nothing more on that one. You got to pay attention to the signs when the ancestors is talking. Now, it's funny, Doc, I have, it's funny, they give me a responsibility in our culture. I think rather because I've been in it.
Well, also with that conversation, what's the other side of that conversation? He was warned not to be with this woman because it was going to bring him trouble. Yet the trouble he got in was him putting his hands on her. So you're saying is he wouldn't have got the cops called on him if he were a black woman, but yet he was still going to put his hands on her.
Since a young person and to the public, I've been somewhat successful. I ain't stumbling out of nightclubs. I ain't seeing no mug shots.
Right.
Like I said, I made my grandmama proud.
Okay.
So I have a lot of young people, young brothers specifically, who look up to me.
Nick, your grandma is not proud of you having this whole tribe of kids. She may be proud that you got some little morsel of change. She might be glad that you on people's TV, people know your name, but you are an embarrassment. A high value embarrassment.
Who look up to me, who I'm proud to call my brothers. But in the past, they just, they've made some young decisions. Sometimes not the best decisions. And sometimes I look for the right things to tell them. Specifically, I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but it's somebody I love. He's currently incarcerated. His name is Blueface.
I know who that is. I have teenage grandchildren.
And it's funny because, even when he first came out,
Was he disobedient?
I don't know. With him, I've just known him since he started. I mean, pretty close with, his manager and I. That's my guy, so before the world knew who Blueface was. And he's bubbling out here in the scenes on the West Coast. And then I had love for him. People say he looked like he could have been my son or my younger brother. But I watched the success. I watched the rise. And I watched how.
Is this nigga around any upstanding members of society? Everybody you hang around is in jail, but yeah, you think you think that it means something that you're not in jail yourself.
I watched how he instantly got into this space where he was the label womanizer, and
he was disobedient.
And now that again, I've literally had to keep pull him out.
How did he get the label, Nick? Do you niggas really think you just walk out the house one day and someone says, "Boop, sticky note, here's your new label"? If you are being called a womanizer, that means you are exhibiting behaviors of a womanizer. That's what that means, Nick. Just like you, right? You display dealings of a whore. So that would make you a whore.
Pull him out of danger.
I'm sorry. I was not supposed to be dragging Nicholas Cannon. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Physically, because he's either about to get into it with somebody or, and brilliant young man, but his public persona, now it's literally got a show called Crazy in Love. And we've seen him be verbally abusive. We've seen him, do and say some things that, the average relationship shouldn't tolerate. But I want to give him a word. I mean, even like, someone that I'm extremely proud of right now and his journey, but there even was times where I didn't have a word for him. I just would just go over there and just be with him and be like, my brother, Chris Brown. Like, I have a real familial love for these guys because, again, one, someone who's often judged, someone who's been in scenarios where, like, I want to be an example. And I have a connection with them. Like I said, the same connect, like, I don't know what it is. I got a connection for people that are just honest, real, true to who they are and have been through a lot. So I loved Earl, Chris. Bobby Brown is one of my favorite people on this planet. Mike Tyson, whenever I'm in this place, I don't know. And I don't know if it's just what it is, but I feel like those type of individuals, my spirit is led to be next to them and stand for them.
It's because you got the same demons. Every single name that you've named, every single name this man has said is an abuser. Every single last name he has said is a man that has been an abuser. You are attracted to those men, Nicholas, because you are abusive. Or you want to be. But the way you just admit to being a predator, I'm going to go down where you are.
And for them, when everyone else is saying that person's a monster, let's throw this person away. Let's cancel this person. I'm the first to stand up and be like, nah, that's my guy. Nah, but did you think about this? So I've gotten in trouble many a times standing next to the R. Kellys, and standing next to the Bluefaces, and saying, I'm not going to let you tear down my brother Chris. I'm not going to let you tear down Bobby. I'm not going to let
The fuck you mean tear down, bitch? These niggas did disgusting things, so they're being treated like disgusting human beings because they are. How you gonna say that to R. Kelly? Like, you're not gonna tear him down, bitch. Move before I cut you off at the knees first. The fuck?
I'm not gonna let you, like, all of these people, when the mob mentality comes for them, for whatever reason, my spirit's been led to stand in front of the mob and be like, nah.
Why she ain't trying to say that's out of order? That's out of fucking order. You don't shame the people for holding people accountable when they do fucked up things. And from the people that you've named, the most fucked up things. Are we forgetting R. Kelly was on trial for CP? Hello?
I'm not gonna allow this to happen on my watch.
Well, where's the love in it? And I did work with one of Chris Brown's former partners. What's it? Karuchi trans. Because my first love is women. So I love me some Chris Brown. Right. But Karuchi was in trouble. Okay, so I'm going that way. Let me just say this. It's hard to build greatness on a foundation of dysfunction. So some of these young men, Blueface, and I don't know that much about Chris, Bobby Brown, and dysfunction not meaning anything wrong, But there's a word that I wish we could inject it into the big toe of young black men as they're being born today. Iwapele.
Iwapele.
Character.
Mm.
Good character. Blueface is brilliant and talented, but no one has taught him the foundational pieces and essence of character.
Dig deep on that, Doc, because I would, because from my understanding of character has to be exemplified. And one has to go through something to show character. I think it is
character values.
Yeah.
But he has to.
No. You don't always have to go through something to have good character. You can just be a good person just because you're a good person. Okay, girl. Not a Kuna Matata.
He has to know, I'm not talking about Blueface specifically.
Yeah. Girl.
Any man walking around with the 3-piece set that has a little hair on it.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay,
that means he's old enough. Has to know that there's something incongruent with taking your fist and putting it in a woman's face.
Of course.
What do you call that? What is that, not character?
Yeah, no man should ever put his hands on a woman.
Well, unless you punches him in his face, but that's another conversation.
You said it.
Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. And with that, y'all, why is she trying to fight me? I'm not listening to any more of this foolishness. Now, yes, everyone should keep their hands to themselves. But no, it is never okay for a man to put his hands on a woman. If that woman puts her hands on him, what he should do is get away from her and call 911. At what point did it become okay for condoning violence against women? This is the problem with the elders that we got. See, it's not lost on me that we're here in present day because of where we've come from. We would not be in the communal ruins that we are in right now without the elders. The elders have led us astray. The elders are why we put up with this bullshit. The elders are why we have put all of this shit on autopilot instead of saying, hey, you know what? We should probably stop doing that. It is never, ever going to be okay for a man to put his hands on a woman. And it's not okay for a woman to put her hands on a man. Everybody should keep their motherfucking hands to their motherfucking selves. But for her to be like, oh, I'm a girl's girl, I'm a woman's woman, women and black men are my first love. Up here coddling the worst parts of our community, trying to force us to garner empathy and sympathy for these degenerate ass fucking motherfuckers. All the while kikiing about, oh, it's okay only if one of the women hits them first. It's not ever going to be okay. It's not ever going to be okay to coddle a rapist. I do not care how talented someone is, how much money they have. There should be zero room in our community for this fuck shit. And as an elder who's supposed to be of more experience and wisdom than someone that is younger, for us to continue to be on this fuck shit, by the time I get to be an elder, we ain't doing this shit no more. I don't care how sad it makes you feel for your friend to go through all of this turmoil that they put themselves through. Because again, this nigga wouldn't have been sitting at the piano if he hadn't have been molesting children. He wouldn't have been crying about how his career is going down the tube if he had not decided to molest children. I don't care how sad it is that America's dad had to go to prison. America's dad, while he was becoming and being America's dad, was drugging and raping women. I don't care how talented someone is when they've spent the majority of their life being addicted to drugs to the point where they could not be a present father and meaningfully contribute to society. No, I don't care about some light-skinned man going to an arraignment for the 10th time in the past 10 years because he can't seem to keep his goddamn hands to himself. I don't feel sorry for them. These grown-ass men making grown-ass decisions. If you are so grown to make these fucking decisions, be grown enough to be a man and take your consequences on the nose. And if that comes with societal fallout, guess what, babes? So be it. I'm tired of these elders acting as if they are so wise. Meanwhile, y'all are on some fuck shit. This is never going to be okay. We only got through 28 minutes of this fuck shit. Nothing that she has talked about is okay. Yes, there is room for talking with people about healing and becoming a better person and being better than you were or being better than people that came before you. That's not going to happen with the deviers, the rapists, and the child molesters. There are plenty of people in this world, me included, that have been through some fuck shit, that have been harmed sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally. People that have been through so much, who have mental illnesses from anxiety and depression all the way up through complex PTSD and DID. Let me call you when I'm off alive. Period, poo. I'm gonna need, this is not okay. And I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing in my motherfucking face. This was some degenerate ass shit. Yeah. So we are here because the people that came before us led us here. So if you want to look around the community and see how fucked up it is, just know someone came before you and fucked it up before you came along. And people that came before you are still here keeping it fucked up while you're here. This is some degenerate ass shit, like I said, but I'm gonna go. I didn't want to be here for too long. I cannot get through I can't get through it. I just cannot. But let me know your thoughts. What's something that you want to hold the elders responsible for? Okay, add to the fuck shit. And I may be back Thursday for episode 2 of Thirsty Thursdays. We haven't decided yet. And I haven't decided yet if we're coming back next week for another conversation with Coco. I think I'm just going to be one of those creators where I pop up when I pop up. I think a schedule makes me anxious. Or maybe I just got to bite the bullet and do it anxious. But with that being said, me and Mina say, goodbye, everybody. Give me paw. Look how smart. Give me paw. Give me paw. Give me paw. Come on, give me paw. Give me paw. You almost did it. Give me paw. Give me paw. Come on, we were practicing. Give me paw. Give me paw. Come on, give me paw. No. Oh, we'll work on it. Say bye. See y'all next time. Bye. Mina, you have to say goodbye. Say bye. Bye.